And we're live, everybody, on YouTube Live. And I have a question for you boys.
This question is going to be good.
What is Jeff's favorite hot dog topping?
Yeah. Yeah. This is what everybody wants to know right now.
Let's hear how you top your hot dogs, Jeff.
I don't really go elaborate. Mostly ketchup, maybe some cheese on top of that too. You know, maybe some chili,
Cheese,
perhaps
Ooh.
chili cheese dogs. Yeah, you never had
Ketchup
those?
and cheese? No, I like cheese and I like ketchup. I like them separate.
Not at the same
but you
time,
put them
I'm
together.
saying-
Oh, these are different dogs.
Yeah, I'm saying if
you're eating one dog with
I'm trying to think
cheese
of-
and one dog with ketchup like this. Like one dog
Yeah,
here, one
freeze
dog here?
frame that on Rob's face. Yeah, yeah.
Who's
Well, I don't know
controlling
what
the
fuck you put in
cameras?
yours. Where's Trent on his? That's what fucking Wiener Schnitzel does. Cheese and ketchup on it.
I've
Look
never
at 'em.
seen that. And I worked at Wiener Schnitzel. Oh, he trying to advertise for Sprite. He trying to be like LeBron.
You know, people will sell their soul for anything.
That's the ad right there.
All right.
I like a lot of toppings on mine. I like everything.
Onions could be all right.
Could be all right, or is
I love onions on a hot
could
dog.
be.
just hot dogs and onions,
Depends.
like nothing else.
Oh no, not onion. I mean, you'd have to have like
No.
Chili.
That's not what you
chili.
said.
You have to
Do
have-
the chili, the cheese, and the onions.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's my go-to. If I were gonna have a hot dog and they were serving all sorts of hot dogs, it's the chili cheese dog with onions. And give me a
But-
knife and fork too. I ain't doing this and getting chili all over the place.
Mhm.
No, give me that knife and fork, baby.
That is the less messy way to eat it. Also, the Chicago dogs I love, but I'll take that little pepper and I'll put it to the side unless I got a knife and
Pepper.
fork to cut it up because I don't like eating that pepper and then it just falls off as soon as you take a bite. It falls out of your mouth. It's that pepper.
Here's a
Have you done that?
question.
Oh yeah.
Or I was gonna say, how do you make a hot dog at home if you were to do such a thing?
When I was growing up, my mom used to have a package of hot dogs and hot dog buns. And I think we just used the microwave back then. I don't think we ever this was before air fryers or anything. I think we just used the microwave.
Yeah,
But this
interesting.
was years ago. I haven't had.
I
haven't made
used
hot
the
dogs in years.
oven, and I was called weird.
What?
I don't know. It just seems like, I mean, I guess anything works. Like you could put it in a pan too, right? Like it's pretty,
I'm trying to
easy
think.
to
Like I
make.
said,
You just
I
heat them
worked
up.
at Wiener Schnitzel. I can't remember how they cooked.
feel like they'd
theirs.
have,
I
like,
They
think
little
microwave
on a
them over
grill.
there
Like at a quick
Yeah.
trip. You know what I mean?
I think they
on
they have
a little
grill.
roller, like
Yeah.
the little rollers, like the
Yeah.
Circle K.
That
you know
hot
what I'm talking about.
dog
Yeah,
flavored
yeah.
water.
When I was a
Ew.
kid, my babysitter would feed us, and by us I mean me and her 3 children that she also had. So it'd be me being babysit with these 3 other kids that actually belonged to her. And she would say, "All right, who wants hot dogs?" And we'd be like, "Yeah, let's get some hot dogs." And then she would get them out of the fridge, the packet of 8 or whatever, and
Yes.
she would put them on a fork,
Mhm.
and then she would say, "Here." She wouldn't even cook them.
Oh wow! Just
And we'd be
cold
like-
hot dogs.
Yeah, cold hot dogs out of the
That's
fridge, and they're
rough.
little
Dang.
and a little
That's
ketchup to
rough.
dip, a little ketchup to dip.
I mean, I have
one-
had cold hot dogs, but the hot ones.
And she
are
would
way
give us
better.
one big tall glass of juice to share. And one time I was like, "Give me all that juice," and I got in trouble because I drank all the juice and I didn't share it with nobody.
Yes,
But for me, Jeff, to answer your question, I get a frying pan and
Yeah.
I put it on there and I
Oh, yeah.
turn on the thing and I let it roll, baby, until it's nice and toasty on all sides. I like it scorched. I like it
That's fair.
crunchy.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'm gonna blow your mind. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
If I'm not eating it hot dog style, I will cut it up. Like I'm
Okay.
gonna make it in like mac and cheese, but I'll just cut it up and
Okay.
then let all the peaches scorch and then put it on a plate and then fork it
Ew.
with like ketchup.
He says, ew.
No.
No, that's legit. That's legit.
It's the superior way. It gets all sides
Mm-hmm.
toasty, Trent. You should try it.
Have you air fried one yet?
No.
all you gotta do is score it on each side, and then you can put it in the air fryer, and it works pretty well. It's
But
not bad.
anybody who boils them, come on, get out of here.
Whoa.
What
Yeah,
are
that
you
is
doing with your life?
That is a
Whoa.
little.
Get a boiled hot dog out of here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gross.
I have a real question for you boys. This time for real. What was the very first video game you ever beat? Vactor, I'll start with you.
Oh yeah. I got a great memory of the very first game that I ever saw credits on. I've talked about it before on this podcast, but maybe you guys didn't know that was the very first one. No, I said it. Actually, as a matter of fact, rewind the tape, Rob. Go back. Okay. Now,
let me get it.
I said in the original version, Ludacris should have been on the original version, right, Jeff? So in the original version of the podcast, I said,
Luda, when I was 13, I met my first
that's the song that Rob thinks of when he thinks of Ludacris. Okay, the original game
When I was 13
that I saw credits on, the very first game that I ever saw credits on was, no surprise here, boys, on brand for me. I bet Rob can't guess. Let me give you a hint. It was on the Sega Genesis. It was on the Sega Genesis.
Oh, I know what it is.
9?
I know what it is.
I was either 8 or 9 years old. The very first game. And are you gonna guess it or am I gonna say it?
I've got it. You want me to say it out loud?
Okay.
And you tell me if I'm right or
Yeah,
wrong?
you
It's
say it.
Moonwalker.
Yeah. The very first game I
Oh
ever
my
saw credits on, and I could not believe there was an ending to a video game. I was dancing, Jeff. I was moonwalking. I was having a great time. That was a core memory for me, was beating Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on Sega Genesis. And I also have a core memory of me running home from school. I used to walk to school. I ran home. I had to be in 3rd grade. Ran home from school because somehow my dad had told me that I got it and it was waiting for me at home. And so I was like, all day, I'm like, Moonwalker, baby, Moonwalker. And then when I got home, that's all I did.
Moonwalker, baby.
Play Moonwalker. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. That was a great time.
Trenton Bubbles.
Yes, yes. I used to love Bubbles, as a matter of fact, and he's in that game.
I know. That's
Michael.
why I said it.
Michael.
Jeffy, are you okay? Jeffy, are you okay? Are you okay, Jeffy?
All right, Jeff, let's hear it. What's your game?
Mine would have been, I think it would have been Super Mario World, even though at the time it would have been an older game.
Yes.
So it probably would have been like
that
I bet you like Ocarina was about to come out and then I had beat it or something like that in that time frame, maybe.
I was gonna say around the same time as Moonwalker was when Super Mario World came out. So I was like, I know Jeff wasn't beating it in his diaper.
No. It would have been older. But I didn't get like a new console. I didn't get like a brand new console until like the PlayStation 2. Right. So all mine were all like hand-me-downs or like given to me where I was playing at other places. But Super Mario World would have been the first one for sure. Maybe a Zelda in after that. Because I remember specifically me and a cousin playing. And I can't remember I can't remember which order it was, but I remember there being a specific moment of like, now it's on to Zelda. And you're just like, hell yeah, bitch. Like, let's go.
Dang.
I think it would have been World. It would have been World.
Jeff was
It was a
rude
he, it was not a
boy.
woman. We were country, man. What do you want me to say?
Oh my gosh. Everybody look at it.
Jeff
It's
is-
Zen Bonger.
Jeff with his Marlboros, with his Miller Lite,
Oh man.
For me,
Fortnite cards.
Yes. Fortnite cards, everybody. That's what you call an inside joke.
Watch out.
For me, my earliest recollection of beating a video game is I can't really recall what happened first, but my two earliest would be number one, Super Mario World, just like Jeff. And what I remember is specifically getting that end credit sequence where it would show you the whole cast of characters, and it'd be like, here's the bomb, and here's the one that's dressed like a football player, And here's the one that looks like a Goomba, but it's not a Goomba, but it looks like one. I forget what they're called. Charge and Chuck or something like that. I forget.
Yeah.
But tied around the same time is Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yes.
And I specifically remember getting all the Chaos Emeralds, or the Chouse Emeralds, as I used to call them back then.
Chouse.
And
I called them, I also called them like Chaos when I was a kid. I was like,
I didn't know what I didn't know what chaos meant. It was all Chouse to me, baby.
Yeah. I said something similar to that, yeah.
And
Chacos. That's what I call it. I was like Chacos.
Chacos.
Yeah.
Turning into Supersonic and taking care of Robotnik. Those were the big ones, man. Then Manure. I remember that. So for me, I'm gonna have to say it's a tie between Super Mario World and Sonic 3, but I've definitely beaten Super Mario World more. So I think I'm gonna give it the edge. I think that was the first one I beat. Excellent question, Pedro. Just psych. What? He doesn't listen anymore. That was me. I made that question. And welcome to level 90 of the Sandbox Gamers podcast, a podcast where three vidgets meet weekly to talk about life, love, and the pursuit of vidya. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your co-host with the most, Wonder Rob, coming at you live on YouTube Live, but semi-live for everybody else from Southern California. And on the line with me are two of my best Arizona friends in the metaverse. The Superman of our podcast, Vactor.
I got two for you this week. The first one, Lois, I never lie. And then the second one, do you eat? Yes, when I'm hungry.
Don't forget the third one where he's lifting a truck naked.
And, well, that one too. But I like pink very much, Lois.
Those are all references from a movie Jeff's never seen. And speaking of Jeff, the Red Lantern of our pod, the always angry JeffW.
But all Superman does is lie.
What?
About his identity.
No.
What?
That's all a lie.
No. He is Clark Kent. He is Clark.
That is a lie.
You ever see Smallville, Jeff? Ever see a little show called Smallville?
Hey, only thing I ever saw in Smallville was that one where he was jerking it. You know what I mean? And he was in the classroom. Yeah,
we know, Jeff. One? We know.
What about that scene?
That was the one that Jeff liked the most. But Jeff would be all hopped up on red kryptonite if he was in Smallville, Rob. It'd be all red. Right. He'd be seeing red.
And I'm Batman. I saved the city again. It was off the chain. Anyway, I should probably get some grub. That's Lego Batman, Jeff. Computer.
Darkness.
No parents. Who always pays his taxes?
Oh, man.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to hit you with a hot take, but I don't think it's that hot. Lego Batman is the best Batman movie ever made, period. Period, Jeff. Period. Yeah. Name a better Batman movie, real quick. That's weird. You couldn't.
Bat.
Jeff is a big
What did you just say?
Batman.
The Bat.
Patman.
Okay,
Robert
so I said
Patman.
name a better movie, not name another movie. But
I said a better one.
I like no. We all
Where
know
is
it. So thanks for
what was that?
Where is
he?
Oh,
Swear to me.
Yeah.
But Lego Batman doesn't say that.
Who's got a
He says,
soundboard?
Pewter. I don't wanna. No.
Will Arnett performances of all time.
Yep. That and when he was in Hot Rod. Babe, wait, babe. Babe, wait. Babe.
Rob and I saw that in the theater, and I could not breathe. I was laughing so hard.
I had a laughing fit. No,
he was married to Amy Poehler at that time, I think.
Not a laughing fit in a movie theater scene from me since Mr. Bean the movie, Jeff.
Jesus.
So the scene where he gets water on his pants and he stands up on the trash can to get the hand dryer into his crotch, and somebody walks in and he looks like he's having sex with the hand dryer. I couldn't breathe. That was a serious situation where I thought I was in trouble.
Oh man.
Oh
Must have been like
man.
12.
What's real quick, if we're talking about you guys going to the movies, remember there's a story about your buddy Josh that he blurted something out in the movie theater, and I can't.
Yes, I already know what you're saying, and I'm
Remember
going to
the
tell you this story. This is a great story. So, sorry, I didn't mean to cough into the mic. I was remembering my laughing fit from the Bean movie. We were seeing Spider-Man 2 in theaters, and you will recall that there is a scene where Harry is distraught in his mansion, and his butler Bernard comes in and he says something wise. I can't remember the quote, but he's like, he says something wise to the feds, like, people who hold grudges never win. You should remember that. Yeah, your father never held grudges. He just rode around on gliders and threw pumpkin pops. You should remember that, Harry. To the effect, something to that effect. And he says, "All right, bye." And then Harry goes, "Good night, Bernard." And immediately, with no self-restraint whatsoever, my old roommate Josh says, "It's Bernard." And everybody looked at him.
So stupid. So stupid.
Like he's talking.
I
to the
remember.
TV.
I remember.
Were you there with that? When
No,
that happened?
I wasn't there. I wish I was there, but I remember.
I probably told you immediately.
Yeah, you told me. I remember when you. I remember. I have a core memory of you telling me the story, but it was your father only obsessed over his work, sir. That was the quote. I remember.
He was looking up the quote.
No, I remembered it.
Oh, he remembered it. Your father only obsessed over his pumpkin bombs.
Bernard.
Anyway,
good old Bernard.
Speaking of Bernard, everybody knows that JeffW is always DTF. That stands for down to talk fun,
Bernard.
everybody. And this week is no different. So why don't we get into our strategy guide section and talk about all the latest video game news? Oh, wait. And don't forget to subscribe and like and do whatever. Okay, now let's talk about the video game news.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was some Xbox news this week, boys. Everybody's talking about, first of all, on the official Xbox podcast, they put out this little 20-minute non-episode. It wasn't like a normal episode where it had Phil Spencer and all the Xbox big wigs talking about the future of Xbox. So I saw all these podcasts, like the YouTube title was Xbox done, Xbox dead, nothing. Xbox is never going to continue. So basically, the news this week, Microsoft confirmed that multi-platform is a thing, boys. They're not abandoning consoles entirely, and that's what they tried to make very clear on that. I did get a chance to watch that Xbox little episode that they did, and they wanted to make very clear that they are coming to multi-platforms.
Ooh.
But they didn't want to tell you the games. Like the girl on the left right there, the interviewer was like, "Hey, can you tell us what 4 games are going to be coming to multi-platform?" And Phil Spencer was like, "No, can't do that. We're going to let the other guys tell you that, but I can tell you this."
That's Phil.
And then the girl was like, "Well, can you at least confirm if it's Starfield or?" And he was like, "Nope, can't do that."
Why are you even on the official Xbox podcast?
Yeah, like, why are you doing this? Yeah.
So the whole thing was they wanted to tell you that games are coming to other platforms, and they invested in Minecraft, they invested in all the other ones, but they're not giving up on Xbox, which that should be the announcement. It should be, "Hey guys, we're giving up on Xbox. We don't care about this box in your living room anymore because we are multi-platform, baby. We're multiverse. We're going to be on PC. We're going to be on your phone. We're going to be on your PlayStation." And Phil Spencer kind of hinted at that, where he was like, Well, with Minecraft and with the other games that we got, Call of Duty and all these other ones now that we own, we're already 90% of the Switch
See,
library.
that's all bullshit.
It's like we're
Minecraft was
already
multi-platform before you bought it. Call
Yeah.
of Duty was multi-platform before you bought it.
So that was the big
Put 'em
news
up. Put them
that they were trying to say. And then they went on to just kind of promote Indiana Jones coming out to Game Pass, and Diablo 4 is coming on March 28th. But the big thing was like, hey guys, we're gonna be multi-platform, but we're not giving up on Xbox just yet. Just yet.
Just
But
yet.
I think they need to. That's my 2 cents on it. I think
don't
they
see
need
why
to
not.
abandon the box. I think it should just be like Steam. It should be, hey, I can access it on any computer I have. I don't have to have a specific Alienware computer. I don't have to have a specific PC. I can play it anywhere that I can play Steam games, right? That's what I want with Xbox. They've already lost this console war. I don't know what they're going to do for the next console war, or if there is even going to be one, but I don't think they need to focus on that. I think they need to focus on Game Pass and focus on being that the brand of Xbox should be, hey, these are the Xbox games you can get with Game Pass. Like that's their bread and butter to me. I don't think they need to be worrying about the boxes anymore. They need to give up on that and just focus. Do a Sega, and just focus on the games now, baby.
Baby. I think I agree mostly with you. I think what they should do
What?
is they're not going to do this, but what I think they should do is like with Indiana Jones, Starfield, Fable 2, or new Fable, I mean, or whatever, Elder Scrolls, 8 or whatever is coming out. Have it be a timed exclusive on Xbox or Xbox Game Pass. And then after a year, just be like, all right, PlayStation, you got it. Nintendo Switch, you got it. If the Switch 2 can even run it, who even knows? Could be a dumpster with an LCD taped to it for all we know at this point. But give me an incentive to still be within your ecosystem, especially if you're still putting out consoles, right? If they're gonna keep putting out consoles, they have to have the games for me to want to play it. Otherwise, I'll just play on my PC, whatever games are out, or my PS5. So keep them exclusive for a year and make good games for once. Also, that's actually, I should put that above it. Make good games first, and then keep them exclusive, and then make a multi-platform. Everybody wins, baby. What say you, Jeff?
Because
go ahead, Vactor.
Well, what is the last Xbox game that you can remember being excited for, Jeff? Was it Gears or Halo?
Power World. No.
What? Xbox.
I'm trying to think.
Xbox. It had to be either Gears or Halo.
Probably like a Halo. I'd have to see the list of like what's come out from them, but not a lot. I mean, mainly because it's all boring. To be honest, it's everything you could think of is going to be, Gears 6, Halo 10.
But you can still be excited for Halo 10.
But or Forza 20. There's
they got
Forza 20.
They got Forza, I think, on lock. So if you're into that type of game,
I think Forza might go to the PlayStation. I think if you're talking about the 4 that he hinted at the 4 games, right? I think that might be the one, right? Because I think that's one. Like, what's the point of keeping that on? That's not a, there's not a. I don't think there's a huge community on Forza, other than maybe designing some of the stuff on the cars or whatever. But I don't think that audience is big enough to, corral them to your own ecosystem, right?
Right.
And I think a lot of people play PlayStation, so why would you not, let them have that? Especially like something as common as like a car game. It's not like you're, hoarding in. It's not like you have Minecraft. It's not like you have like this Power World. Like if I'm them, I'm trying to keep this on my system, right? Like I'm trying to keep them from putting this over there, because this will actually draw players in, right? And to your service, right? Like you're going to get them on your Xbox, or you're going to get them on the service as well. Although I don't know if they should give up on consoles. I think they've lost the last couple consoles wars or whatever, the last couple generations, mainly because I feel like, if you think about it, like 360 was not in the Twitter sphere really until a few years into its life cycle. Like, Twitter was not what it became, let's say, in 2013. It's kind of like, in Vactor, you can relate to some of this stuff. Like, it's like sports, right? Like, you see some of the sports, like, stuff like there's just different coverage of sports compared to, anything before 2010, right? So I feel like in the console world, they started off with such a negative, the Xbox One was so terrible in terms of just press coverage. I mean, I literally, like, people, thought it was a joke. Like, it would get trashed left and right. It was, maybe the worst mistake and one of the biggest mistakes in Microsoft history, easily.
The Xbox
But I also
One.
think, like, yeah, for sure. And just the announcement of it. I mean, not even itself, but the announcement caused you to then lose a decade to Sony. But I think the funny thing about that, though, I mean, if we're looking at, Microsoft in general, I mean, is Sony, I don't know if you can look it up. I'm sure Microsoft, probably in terms of like market cap, whatever you want to call it, right? Like, Microsoft's at least the top 5, right? It probably depends on whose stocks are up that day. But if you look at the largest global companies, Microsoft's in the top 5, and Sony's not even in the top 100, maybe not even the top 150 or 200, maybe even. So what I'm saying there is I don't think Sony's had a good PlayStation 5 either. I don't think when you start looking at the games that are on this, like, and I'm talking stuff that specifically come out here, like Last of Us to me does not count. Last of Us, I don't even know if did part 2 come out on PlayStation 5 or was that
it was a
remaster?
Yeah, it was PlayStation 4.
So that was 4. So that doesn't even count. So if we're talking about games that have come out, yeah, and we're showing it here. Like, Sony, I don't know where Sony is on this list.
Sony's not even on this list.
Sony is going to be way
not
down
the top
that
10.
list. They do not have the money that Microsoft has.
No, we don't want the ads. It's making me look right. You're trying to get me to sign up.
And this is how Microsoft stays in business.
No.
But I don't think you should abandon that console because I don't think that's a done deal. I just don't. I think you had a huge problem, and I saw a comment on a Reddit or a Twitter somewhere where, like, they're calling PlayStation at the end of its life cycle, or the PS5 is at the end of its life cycle, and it's like, dude, it feels nothing like that because for the first 2.5 years you had to fucking do the craziest shit to get it, and so it just doesn't feel like, I just don't feel like that battle is as over as it seems. You know what
30.
I mean?
30.
Yeah. How's this ranking them?
This is list of largest companies by revenue.
Okay. Dang, Walmart.
Microsoft,
Apple's not
higher.
Apple's way up here. Whoops.
Yeah.
There it is. Number
I'm
9.
surprised they're not higher.
Can you control F and find Sony if they're on
God.
here?
Yeah, I can do everything.
See where they're at. I bet you they're not on this list. This list looks like only like 100.
They've taken a
zero.
loss.
It says 0 out of 0.
Nice. Yeah.
They've taken a loss on their movies. I don't know what their music revenue is. They're into a bunch of other.
That's what I'm saying. But and they have a lot of other stuff. But, like, still, you think like Microsoft Office can keep the Xbox in business over Sony for a long time. I don't want to see them in that, and I don't think they should. I think you should just try to, I think the focus should be Game Pass. I think you should keep adding. I mean, even Blizzard stuff taking this long. What was it for Diablo? End of March, April, beginning of April, whatever it was.
March.
Like, all that stuff should be on there immediately. I don't give a fuck about competition. I wouldn't give a shit about any of that. Like, you should put, if it was me, I would put all of that on there. I don't know why they're not. And in fact, I don't understand why they wouldn't.
I'm sure they have a reason.
So to me, I'm like, you really like, I think Microsoft has a better position than it looks from the outside or the general public. I think you can still you
There's a
know,
little blizzard
do
for you.
something. There he is. But
Well,
I just
I
would
think-
hate to see them do something. I just want them to do something. Make a cool console again. Make something that doesn't look boring. Do something interesting again. You know, I don't know. I would like to see them still put money into that.
So you'd like them to come back because they've lost this console. Like they're not taking it from Sony this generation.
No,
I think
no way.
I think for me, I've had such a brand loyalty to Xbox from the original Xbox and the 360.
Yeah.
The original Xbox, I've told this story on here before. It got me with the original Halo, and everybody was into PlayStation. I was an Xbox guy because number one, it had the better graphics, it was a more powerful system, it had Halo, and it was just doing things that the other consoles were doing. It had the Duke controller.
Oh man, the Duke!
I love the Duke controller because of my hands. And there was a ton of like things that they were doing with the original Xbox carried it over for me. Like I was a Xbox guy, and then when the 360 came out, that's when it really got going. They won that cycle. And so when the Xbox One came out, I was like all into like, oh yeah, Connect, and we're gonna do all this stuff. And you look back on it now, and the Xbox One, and then now the current Series X and S, they've just taken L's on both of them, and they have not been up to the level of quality or the standards. So I just don't like consoles in general. So to me, everything should be a cloud-based service, which Jeff does not like.
Here we go again.
I want everything to be Xbox, xCloud, everything in the cloud, baby, everything streaming, everything internet-based. We don't need no physical consoles, no boxes in our house. Jeff, I got enough Amazon boxes. I don't need no more boxes. So let's do everything digital in the cloud, baby.
It'll never be as good.
I don't know, Jeff. They said that about music, Jeff, but it's good enough. The quality is not
about music, Jeff.
Vinyl, Jeff, but the quality is good enough.
It's compressed of music.
The compression of music. Now, Jeff does not listen to any physical music. Everything is digital, and it's okay, right, Jeff? You're not missing those days of hauling around those books of CDs.
Yeah, but I'm not interacting with music like that. Music is more passive, right?
For some of us, Jeff, but for other people, music is active.
Don't give us the gym look. I saw that.
Rob, what do you think about consoles in general?
Well, I think Fable might bring them back, baby. To answer your original question, am I still interested or excited about an Xbox game? Fable is the only one right now.
This would be a completely different story if they had the games. If they were putting out, if they had 10 exclusives,
you're right.
It was like we can't get them on anything else. I would be like, first of all, I would be playing more Xbox. I would be more of an Xbox guy. But the fact that they don't, and they haven't for like 2 generations now, it's just kind of like, all right, it's time to move on to the next one.
You're not wrong.
I think Microsoft, just go to the cloud, go to your strengths and your specialties, leave the exclusives up to the big boys, Microsoft.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Xbox is
so
dead.
Check it out. We're gonna have a link in the show notes to that official Xbox podcast, updates on the Xbox business and all of that bullshit. But real quick, speaking of Xbox, the next gen Xbox could be, Rob, if it ever happens, the largest technical leap you have ever seen. Now I just talked about the original Xbox being more powerful than the other consoles. We've seen it with the Switch. We've seen it with Nintendo time and time again, where the most powerful console does not always win. It does not always make it the must-have gaming system. It's about the games. It's about what games do they have. So it's part of it. Like, I don't want to be playing on a potato, but I also want to have an actual game to play. So you got to take advantage of all of that horsepower, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean,
right, Jeff?
I think what they like. Remember when like video game interface or like console interfaces used to be like really good? Like let's say like the Xbox
The
360.
Saturn.
No.
Oh,
Saturn.
Dreamcast. Yeah.
And then like I don't know. I just feel like, yeah,
You want them to do something different with the box.
exactly. I
physical
want them to
box.
do like something different with the box, and then make it. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's do something innovative with like make it. I don't know, make it different. Even now, the consoles feel the same when I start them up. Even the menus are just kind of bland. They're the same thing. Parties and all that system sucks. It looks like trash. I think I would like to see Xbox get away from Windows a little bit because it looks like Windows in a lot of ways. I would like to see them kind of separate themselves. I don't know. I mean, I'll probably get the next Xbox. I think I still will get it. And see what's happening. I just want something that's fast. Let's get some real performance out of these boxes again. I don't think
They have
these
made
last
a
two
pretty
generations
big
have been great for that.
step up with having the solid state drives in the
Mhm.
PlayStation and the Xbox. Like that's a big step up for the
Right.
speed of getting into a game, starting it, and all that
For
stuff.
sure.
But yeah, we need something new, baby, and we ain't getting it from PlayStation 5, Rob, because
Yeah.
Sony says
Yeah.
it's not releasing any new major existing franchise games until 2025. So
What?
2024 is gonna be pretty slim pickings, Rob. After we saw the wonderful Spider-Man 2 and God of War Ragnarok last year, we ain't getting nothing this year.
Nope. Nothing this year. I don't want to sign up. Thank you.
And like Jeff said, this is the 5th year since launch, so it's not the people are talking about the end of the PlayStation cycle, but to me, I think they want to have like 10-year lifespans for these consoles. So if we're entering the 5th year, this seems like the halfway point for the PlayStation 5. In my mind, that's
It's so silly.
my
Imagine this is the halfway point for the PlayStation 5, but they're only now just starting to make console exclusive PlayStation 5 games. And what I mean by that is they're not dual releasing on the PlayStation 4. They're just now abandoning that and starting to make games that are only PS5. And it's
Right.
halfway through the console's life cycle.
Yeah.
right.
And I think a lot of that, I mean, just if you think about like I said, you couldn't even get it for 2 years. I mean, everybody that wanted one got one, but you couldn't realistically just go get one and play one for years. I mean, this generation has been pretty shitty, I think, overall, to be honest. Not the games, but if we're talking just consoles, right? I think it's been a pretty shitty generation. I think I don't think and this article it points out to me why I don't think Microsoft is that off. I think Microsoft has a more American audience. I think they have to answer to American press more than like, let's say, Sony in Japan, right? And I think that you're looking at something like, I think consoles in general are just stale. Even Power World, I'm playing that on my PC, right? Any huge games like Fortnite's huge on PC. It's big everywhere, big mobile, big on console, but it was huge on PC when it first came out, until it eventually migrated to the other ones. So I just think like that's why to me that like these two things are related. And I think this points out why Microsoft it looks worse for Microsoft, but I think that's because people want it to be kind of in a way, right? Where like Sony doesn't have anything great either to me right now. I know Spider-Man came out, like that's cool, You had a good God of War game not that long ago. I guess that's kind of cool. But like if we're talking
free DLC, don't forget.
yeah, that's true. I just feel like they're all lacking. I don't think anybody's really carrying the torch of consoles.
Even Nintendo
right now.
Even the Switch.
I think the Switch is doing pretty well. Switch is doing pretty well. But outside of that, I mean, you know, there hasn't been like really a refresh on that. Like, I think we would expect something to come from that, you know, this next year or something like that. But I just think, yeah, this generation, maybe aside from the Switch, I guess if the Switch bleeds into this generation, I just don't think the Sony and Microsoft offerings have been really great. They just don't have much, you know? And then like you have layoffs now, like they mentioned it in that Xbox video too, like you just basically killed the you kind of like skeleton crewed the industry, right? So what are we ever going to get? And this isn't COVID, this is normal now, right? Or supposedly. So I just don't get it. I don't know how any of them recover to like take the torch, basically.
I think it's going to be third-party games and the smaller independent ones. They talked about it in this article. What is a, you know, what are they announced there's going to be no major projects currently under development or coming out in 2024, but they've got a handful of games coming out, including Stellar Blade and the Until Dawn remake. So stuff like that is coming out, but not the big first-party stuff like God of War and Spider-Man 2. So I think it's going to be the independent stuff, the stuff that we didn't know about, like Pal World, like stuff that is not on our radar. That's going to be the stuff that we're going to be talking about on this podcast as the year rolls on.
What's that other game coming out? Ronin, Rise of the Ronin? Like that's going to be good.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, we talked about it on the State of Play episode. There's a ton of stuff that I'm interested in.
Good stuff coming out.
But it's just not first party stuff.
Yeah.
So we will see, but we also saw something this week that I think Jeff to a lesser extent, but Rob and I had a huge love for the best fast food restaurant in the history of fast food.
Yeah.
Taco Bell, which held an E3-like event this last week. And I know Jeff is not super excited about Taco Bell, like a taco turning into a dog and running away and then evolving into something. But I know 100% Jeff is excited about a giant Cheez-It stuck inside a Crunch Wrap, right, Jeff?
I mean, that idea sounds like dog shit, but I do think no, it just seems like a soggy, weird, you know, crackery mess. But I'm just surprised this hasn't been done before, because like, you know, Vactor, you remember when T-Mobile, when John Legere was taken over and he was on the, like, we love this. People love this kind of stuff. I think, like, you know, him being up on the stage and he was like, man, Verizon hates you. Fuck them. And, you know, you're just like seeing this guy go crazy on the stage talking about other rival cell phone companies. I mean, that's why I switched, was not only what they offered, but it was also his attitude of like, hey, like, we're going to, you know, keep doing things. Like, it just seemed like that's where the energy was for mobile stuff. Right. And, I'm just surprised nobody else does this. Like, I don't like, do they do this on any other, like, do they, because like, if you think about it, like if McDonald's is like, hey, we're bringing 4 new things to the menu, like that would get them press, that would get them what they want for this, right? I'm surprised that they have not done this before. And again, like, I think the Cheez-It idea is terrible, but I do respect Taco Bell's, I guess you just call it innovation. I mean,
you better respect Taco Bell.
No, I do. Okay, I do. Like, they are constantly doing something new, and they're trying, at least, right? So I do respect
Del Taco's name out your mouth, Jeff.
Yeah, let's get some more like actual like Mexican food on Taco Bell. That'd be great too.
Okay, this all is technically Mexican food.
Just watching this makes me want a Mexican pizza. I think after we're done recording here, I'm gonna go get a Mexican pizza. That is the power of Taco Bell, Jeff.
But you don't think the Cheez-It in the Crunch Wrap is not? It's a little too messy, right?
This is gonna be a shocking take to you, Jeff. But I don't like Cheez-Its. I don't find them to be tasty. So
where's the shock that I just got?
Even if it was outside of the Crunch Wrap, and I also don't like Crunch Wraps. I don't like Crunch Wraps or cheese
Look how
it.
bad. I just said it was a bad idea, and then I got the reaction like I said, Taco Bell sucks, but Vactor doesn't even like cheeses.
Well, that's what you say offline, Jeff. You tell me that Taco Bell sucks outside of the podcast. I am a big Taco Bell fan.
What about the Baja Blast gelato?
Whoa.
Did you
I'm
even
drinking
watch
a
that?
Baja Blast right now, Jeff?
They had a ton of great stuff here, so you can go check that out in the description.
Hell, he doesn't even know what was announced. You don't even know what was announced, do you?
Is it video game related?
Oh,
well, very loosely.
I thought this was
the loosest possible term. Like that's what it is. They are doing new chicken like nuggets that you dip in sauce. You're gonna have your whatever it is with the Cheez-It, a big giant Cheez-It, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
bringing a new
right
sauce.
Up your alley.
They're bringing a new sauce.
There's an avocado sauce.
Yep, a green sauce.
I'm allergic to avocado.
Cheesy
chicken crisp. Hold on, what? You're allergic to avocado?
I told you that. That's why I can't
just
eat guac.
making that up.
I can't eat guac.
I've seen you eat guac.
You've never seen me guac.
The world he's missing out on.
And we're getting the Baja Blast ice cream. So I'm gonna get that.
That's for
and
Rob.
They're doing Baja
Rob
Blast sprinkles on the cinnamon roll.
That's for Rob.
What
now
are those crunchy?
I'll try those.
Baja Blast powder on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure there was.
I'm making my Mexican pizza order right now. Hold on, boys.
But nothing matters because they have not announced bringing back the taco salad. Bring back the taco salad, you cowards.
My mom used to love the taco salad.
I'm going to leave it on me. And bring back the tostada.
What is a tostata?
That was good. All right. Well,
what
anyway.
is a burrito?
And that's the end of this video.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. Let's move on to our Let's Play section and talk about the games we've been playing this week. Now, I see here in the show notes, Jeff, that you were so jealous of Vactor and I playing the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League that you decided to hop on board.
Ooh. Yeah, it was mostly to spite somebody we know. When I heard they didn't like that people were playing it or spoiling it, so I was like, "Oh, let me spoil it."
Oh, yeah.
So I got in there and played it. I got all the way through the introduction stuff, like the tutorials for each of the characters, and then I think I was about to step out, kind of into the open world more, and then I stopped playing it. So I didn't get a ton of time with it. But
so remember what I talked about last week, Jeff, with it being the Destiny comparisons, and Rob, he had never played Destiny. So what did you think about it as a Destiny type game?
So I didn't get to play much of that part, but I think it's an interesting game. I think I'm going to side with Rob because I think Rob said this. But I'm not a fan that much of how this game plays.
Yeah, you could say I'm pretty good at analyzing poo-poo games.
It's almost like he has his own podcast for it. Yeah, and in just my experience running around, I was waiting for I was like, all right, which one of these am I gonna kind of main, for the majority of this game, or whichever ones I can.
Yes, there are new characters coming.
There was nothing that quite grabbed me, like let's say comparing their older games, right? There's nothing that's like those Batman controls. There was nothing that was like, hey, this is like I didn't even with every character I'm thinking a lot before I'm moving or traversing, And there was a lot of just kind of janky movement, like Boomerang feels really weird to me.
I told you he's my least favorite.
Yeah, that is like a really weird move to make me disappear off the screen, and then I can have to throw it again to teleport. Harley is decent, but I feel like the swinging is a little off. I didn't get the swinging to feel like didn't feel great. And then even like Deadshot's jetpack was kind of like whatever. I think King Shark might have been maybe the one I would have, I guess, preferred. And
That's
out
the
of
one.
those four,
Rob and I, we both prefer King
Mhm.
Shark. So
Yeah.
you're talking about the traversal specifically. You don't like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
traversal. What
yeah.
about the gunplay
The gunplay was
from what you've
okay.
played?
It was okay. They definitely do not, say what you will about Destiny and how boring it is at points, for especially depending on what kind of games you like. But there's definitely a feel to those games, right? There is like a
It's the
Halo
Bungie.
like
Mhm.
fun factor. Yes, Bungie. Like I play that game and this feels natural. This feels good. I like to see the numbers ticking up, in Destiny. And here it's not so much that. I'm gonna play it though, because I've been playing a ton of Power World over the last week and just, grinding out breeding pals to get rare pals and do all that stuff. But I feel like this is a game I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna get to this and finish it, but I don't know how much I'm gonna enjoy doing that. I almost feel like this is almost for me gonna be kind of like the Dexter TV show of video games,
Oh,
where
man.
at a certain point I was watching it because I hated it so much. And I just had to kind of see it through. Like I just kind of have to see, number one, I bought it, but also it's rock steady. And we got some, Batman-ish stuff in here. So I kind of have to see it through at this point.
Well, I'm
so I think I'll
curious.
still play it,
Yeah, I'm curious to get your take on the story because it is a direct sequel to the Arkham series or the story. So I
Mhm.
want to see what you think about the direction that they go with the storyline.
Yeah.
And then also after you beat it, hey, look, it's Link.
Oh,
Yeah,
look at
Link,
him.
Link.
Say hi.
Yeah,
Hi,
future,
Say hi,
future
everybody.
Hi,
podcaster.
everybody.
Yeah,
Oh, he's giving me a wave. There we go.
Say
Yeah,
Suicide
Link.
Squad.
Psycho Squad.
Yeah.
Say what's up, homie?
Woo!
What's up, ponies?
Look, Link, I'm wearing Spider-Man.
What's up, bonus?
What's up, bonus?
Oh wow,
Right.
that's
Oh.
what he
Time to
teaches
go to
his
bed.
son.
Just like his dad.
Bye, Link.
Just like his dad.
So
Mhm.
I think Link will enjoy the story at some point when he gets older. But
Yeah.
I want to get Jeff's take because Jeff and I used to talk about the Arkham series a
Yeah.
ton when we were playing it as the original Arkham came out. So
Mhm. And I love those games. Like they're
yeah,
they're
So
all,
I wanna-
even the third I still like. Even I'll give it to Origins too. Like I like
Mhm.
parts of those games,
they kind of I think act like Origins doesn't exist, but I want to
Yeah.
see what you think about the ending, and then also after you finish it, and then the live service stuff kicks in. They're going to be releasing new characters. There's going to be DLC
Yeah.
coming out for. They're trying to, have a long lifespan with this game.
Yeah.
So far, all the reviews and people's reactions, I don't know if they're going to get to that long lifespan, but I'm still enjoying it. I saw credits since the last time we talked, and
Mhm.
I really like where the story went, and the feel of it throughout was very James Gunn, like the humor, the kind of found family of both Guardians of the Galaxy and then the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
That's what this Suicide Squad feels like, and
Mhm.
so I'm interested to see what you think about that. And then Rob, did you get a chance to play any more since the last time?
No, I've had zero interest actually.
Oh, what?
I got
You said
I
you liked
got-
the story.
well, I did like the story, but the gameplay was really just like
Oh, man.
it was up there. But I don't want to brush it off completely. I just got preoccupied with the game I'm gonna talk about
Okay.
in a little bit.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, keep at it. I really liked it. I finished it, and I'm curious to see because I have some theories. Actually, I want to talk to you boys about where the story goes and what happens in it. So I want to talk to you about that, but I can't until you've beaten it. And then we got to set up a playtime where we're all playing it together and we're having a good time. So that's another thing. So in the future, let's come back to this. Let's put a pin in Suicide Squad and come back to it.
All right.
All right. So I know you've been playing a new game, Trenty,
right.
called Helldivers 2.
Yes, we talked about this on like a state of play or something, some PlayStation thing recently. But I finally got a chance to play it, and I am very satisfied with this game. Number one, it's $39, so it's not gonna break the bank. I played it on PlayStation 5, but it's also on PC, so you can get it on Steam. And it is a very competent, I will say, first person shooter. It has a lot of the elements of dang, now I'm blanking on the movie. It's a cult classic movie.
Starship
Yeah,
Troopers?
Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
It's very like the story of it is very Starship Troopers. It feels like Starship Troopers when you're playing it, when you're shooting the aliens. This is just like Suicide Squad for me, a very good gunplay game. So I'm very much enjoying how the guns feel, how the artillery feels. Also, it's kind of like a live service where everybody can kind of join in, and you go to different planets as you complete the planet. Like, okay, we've got 100% of this planet complete. We've killed the bugs. You go over to the next planet. I forgot the other game that was like that, where as people are playing it online, you're progressing to different worlds. I played a similar game to that, but I'm blanking on the name of it as we're talking. But I'm going to be interested to see if we can get this game, we can play some multiplayer on this one, because this is the type of game that I would just play with Jeff. We're just talking about our lives and things that are going on, and we're mindlessly shooting things. That's what Helldivers 2 is. It's very much in that same vein of, okay, you go here, you kill a bunch of aliens, and then you're done. All right, now we go to the next world. All
And
right,
that's
we
pretty
go
much
here.
it.
That's it. It's just you're shooting aliens and you're throwing grenades at them. That's the whole thing. You're just trying to stop these bugs from coming up and taking over. So I had a really good time with Helldivers 2. It's very affordable, like I said, $39, and it's multiplayer. So a thumbs up from Vactor for Helldivers 2.
Yeah, I heard it gets pretty frenetic, like a lot of accidental team kills and a lot of nonsense going on. And you know what? I would play it. I would play it.
Let's
I'd
play
commit.
it. Let's get it.
I'd commit, because I know that you have to pay for PlayStation Online. I know that they're doing a free weekend this weekend, but other people don't know that. But I do know that. But lucky for me, I've been paying for that membership blindly for over a year and never using it. The top tier, what is it? What's the top tier? I forget what it is.
Yeah, they need to restructure that, the naming of that.
Yeah.
Well, this week, boys, I've been playing a game called At Dead of Night. As a matter of fact, let me pull up the old trailer here. Press play on that. It's hard when you're controlling all the cameras and everything. Here we go. So, as you boys know, I've been playing a lot of games on stream lately. And this was a game that I was streaming and beat. I saw credits even. I streamed it, I think 5 nights straight, and beat this game. This is a FMV game. You guys familiar with
like
FMV?
Night Trap?
Yeah. Well, it's actually, let me point this out. This is a horror game. I'm going to try not to spoil it, but this is a horror game. It's FMV mixed with pre-rendered graphics. So all the actors, the characters are all real people, and the immediate sets that they're in front of are real. But as you can see on the gameplay, it's pre-rendered graphics as you're running through the hallways. So the premise of this game is that you're this girl, Maya, who checks into this hotel, and all of a sudden you're locked in the hotel, and you find a ghost walkie-talkie. The person you see walking around in the video with the weird haircut, that character's name is Jimmy, and he is after you, trying to kill you. And there are 3 floors. And what happens is you are solving the mysteries of all the people who have died in this hotel. You're ghost hunting, as it were, finding clues in rooms, putting them together, and interacting with the ghosts themselves, all the while Jimmy is trying to get you. Ooh. And I gotta tell you, let me start that over again because I want you guys to look at it. This was a very spooky game. This game had me on the edge of my seat, boys. So, for example, the person named Jimmy, like I said, he is responsible for having killed everybody in this hotel, right? Maybe you find a photo of the hotel on fire, and maybe you find a copper wire, and maybe you find an unloaded gun. And when you encounter these spirits, you ask them, hey, what do you know anything about this gun, or do you know anything about this wire or these pictures or any of these objects that you find? And maybe they know about them, maybe they don't, but you can sort of pair them together to figure out what happened to this person. And the further along you get, you start seeing visions of the interactions between the ghosts, or when they were alive, and Jimmy, and how he is tormenting them. And this is, like I said, I don't want to say too much outside of that, but it is one of the scariest games I've ever played. And it's a lot of jump scares.
Nice.
It's a lot of jump scares, but it's also it's tense, like it's tension. So the jump scares really come in when you're being like, oh my God, is he around the corner? Is he trying to get me? Like, you're hiding in hotel rooms, you're hiding in closets, you're trying to solve the mystery of how these ghosts died before you can actually leave the hotel. And let me tell you something, it was very good. And a lot of people were watching when I was playing it and saying, go here. No, this clue belongs to that clue. No, this is what you should be asking. Ask the ghost this. This is a very, very spooky game, and it wasn't terribly expensive. It was only, I think it was under $20 when I bought it on Steam. I don't know if it's still that much. Let me pull up the Steam page.
Yeah, and Rob, while you pull that up too, I was gonna say
it's still under. It's $15 right now.
$15
on Steam.
Nice. I was gonna say, this is when I saw you playing it on TikTok. Horror games are a really interesting genre, especially now on the stuff I've been seeing you play. Is it's so tied into, like you said, tension and like atmosphere, right? Like, this game is not something you would like. If we saw this game at an E3, we would be like, what in the hell? The guy with his haircut, this whole thing, you're like, the FMV part, you'd be like, what in the hell is this? But there's sort of maybe charm is the wrong word, but with even the other games that you've been playing, the Anomaly games too, like, there's sort of this, like, hey, this is like creepy, but like, I'm enjoying this. Like, there's definitely like talent behind this. This isn't just a trash game that just is out there for $10. So yeah, this one I just think of this also nails that atmosphere.
Right. Yeah, it's fantastic. So I mean, if you're into this type of game, it's a lot of point and click. You're not really moving around freely. You have your own set moves, but the aspect of exploration and putting these clues together was very interesting. And some of the puzzles or the connections that they have you do are very tough, in my opinion. And every time you get caught, like if Jimmy catches you, he takes away your walkie-talkie and he hides it. Okay, you got to go and find where he put your walkie-talkie and any resources you might have gathered in the hotel too, because like you can get keys to other rooms, like you can lock him in certain rooms. You can get keys to like the stairwell to make going up and down the floors easier, and certain other things too. And if he catches you, he takes all those away from you, and he hides them in different rooms. So there's motivation to not just be caught. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's there's an aspect that I didn't find out until later in the game. Somebody actually had to tell me. So if you can't figure out what to do next, there's like this little mirror that you can pull up, and it'll show you clues. It'll show you like visions, like floor 3, you should be on floor 3, or room 209, you should check that one out, or maybe you should look for like a piece of bread or something like that. And that was a real clue, a piece of bread. But anytime you use the mirror, it tells Jimmy exactly where you are in the hotel.
Oh, okay.
It's not just like, tell me where to go, I can get through this game. Like, you have to make a choice. If I use this clue, it's gonna tell him where I'm at, and now I have to be on edge. And I have fallen victim to Jimmy several times after using the mirror to try to figure out where to go. So anyway, this is called At Dead of Night. It's a very fun, very well written, well acted game. Don't let the fact that it's an FMV game fool you. It's very good, and I enjoyed it thoroughly, everybody.
Nice.
Excuse me, and that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Sandbox Gamers podcast. But don't... Pew, 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 pew. My wife's out in the hallway making fun of me. She made that noise just now. Pew, 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 pew. But we can't leave just yet because we have to tell you about a couple of different things. Did you know Vactor has two YouTube channels? Tell them about it, Vactor.
I want your wife to say, Vactor, your YouTube channels are fucking lame.
Wow.
I have two, as Rob alluded to. One is about Star Wars. It's called Trust in the Force. And one is about comic books called This Comic Cooks. And we're talking about all kinds of Star Wars stuff. And we just had, I want to point Rob to that short to the right there. I just posted the Natalie Portman SNL monologue where she's schooling Andy Samberg on Star Wars. And you would not believe the comments I'm getting on this one, not specifically on YouTube, but on Instagram. It just passed 2.5 million. And people are like, I love Natalie Portman. She's the hottest I've ever seen. I love her haircut and all this stuff. And I'm very shocked the amount of people that had not seen that clip. But that is what we got going on Trust in the Force. We also have all kind of Star Wars biographies and little clips, so you can check those out over on the Star Wars channel. And then on the comic book channel, we're talking about comic books, my favorite thing in the world. So all of that stuff can be found over on This Comic Cooks.
Yeah. So the links are in the show notes. Check it out. You want to subscribe.
And I'm going to go get a Mexican pizza.
Yeah. So thank you, Vactor. You can find me on TikTok every weekend, Friday and Saturday, streaming my horror games. Although this last week, like I said before, where I was distracted from Suicide Squad, it was because I was playing At Dead of Night, and I was streaming every night, baby, this last week. Because the game was that good. I was like, I gotta keep playing this. I gotta keep playing it. But typically, you'll find me on
one.
Oh, I haven't decided yet. I got a whole Steam wish list library of games that I want to play, but I mainly stick around to like the horror anomaly, more like a group interaction friendly type games, because that's what gets the people. That's what gets Jeff to hit GG.
Because we get Jeff going.
Yeah.
Give me that half a cent every time he hits GG.
I'm in there pumping up the numbers, you know.
Yeah. So that's a TikTok. Wonder Rob. You can find me there every weekend playing video games. Don't forget to check out our link tree in the show notes, because that's where you're going to find us on all social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the usual suspects. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review, do all the things. And before we leave, I have one last thing to tell you. GG, everybody. GG.
GG.
All right, let's see. How do we even end this thing? I don't